Are you sure? Because he asked for it and you completely ignored him. Yeah, we gotta find a way. How can we grow this YouTube channel? As always, welcome to the morning grind. It's 8:29 right now. It's time to go straight into 60 seconds of gratitude. Hey, who's up so loud in there? User opted out of plan. Something. Van, I can't share my YouTube stuff anymore. Well, it's not letting me because somebody has gotten into my shit. User opted out of platform. So somebody has gotten in as me. Let's see. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I find that extremely annoying. So if you do me a huge favor, please like, comment, and share my YouTube. If you have not done this, please go to YouTube. GoodTimeTommy Real Estate is our show or our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Josh, what are you thankful for this morning?
Me and my mom are going to get some coffee later. I'm thankful I get to go see her.
You and your mommy? Do you drink coffee?
No.
What are you going to do? Just sit there and watch her?
No, I'll drink mom. Or I'll drink coffee with her.
What are you doing over there, Edward?
Sharing this live.
Yeah, if you could somehow do that, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to figure out this YouTube. You know, I've done Facebook. That's all I've done. And it's limited my reach. Because Facebook keeps you so local. That's really... Because you can't really go... Can you go onto Facebook and search?
Search YouTube stuff on Facebook?
Can you go into Facebook and search real estate?
You can, but...
I think it's throttled. I think when I think of YouTube, I think of a lot more possibilities out in the world. See, I made a big mistake. I focused on Facebook when I should have been focusing on YouTube and Instagram.
Yes.
Facebook, you can get to 5,000 friends. Then I created this Good Time Tommy page, but it was really only circulating around my personal. I'm thankful. Very thankful that I'm figuring this shit out. I wish I'd have known it earlier, and I wish I'd have been more committed. So I'm trying to figure it out as we go. Today's show topic, how did I word this, Van?
The cost of spreading yourself too thin.
The cost of spreading yourself too thin. What do you think I mean by that? Jish?
You don't think you're capable of making it to the next level?
Nope. Are you here? Did I even ask a question?
Jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Van is taking over the show. Van, you want to come sit out here?
Come up here.
Edward, when you think, like, how much of a capacity does Edward have right now? How much stuff could Edward do?
A lot.
So you move, baby.
It's like a little bitty coffee green right here. Now, how much could Edward do in a rap game?
Yeah.
He's got a bigger capacity there. You know, how much could you do in baseball? Okay, so whenever you're moving into something new, whenever you move to something new, it's always going to be hard. Whenever you first started rapping, maybe you had some natural gifts, but there were still harder things then than it is now. Anticipate moving into something new. It's harder. You don't have as much capacity. A huge mistake I made in business is thinking that one person could do a lot of different jobs. Van, do this. Van, do that. Well, whenever Van was spreading himself too thin, Van never caught enough traction to do something that I would say that's awesome. Now that he's moved into our P&Ls and only focusing on money, he's thriving in that area. Edward and Jake were here. I wonder if Jake is on here. Call him up and ask him. Let's just call his ass out. Motherfucker can't get here on time and he can't get on the show. What do you think about that? Maybe he's on here. I hope he's on here. It'd be a pleasure if he is. But whenever Edward and Jake were here, put him on the speaker. Just say, hey, man, are you on the show? And if he says no, just hang up on it. That's all you got to... Let's see. Well, listen.
Hey, are you on the YouTube live?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's how you see. You gotta force him to change his behavior. I mean, Jesus. So at first, whenever they were here, I had
I'll be
Edward
back.
just say, "Dude, I ain't got time. I'm on the show like you should be."
Hey man, I'm watching the show. I don't got time to talk. Just get on there. Bye.
There you go. Let's hurt his feelings. So whenever they were first here, well, you'd been here a little while, but I was trying to get you guys to manage leads and call. And then I was even trying to throw a little social media on y'all. Do this. And then I was wanting y'all to help me grow the other side. And then we're wanting to do this. And what happens is, like, what were you focused on during that time? Was there like a singular focus?
No, it was kind of like all spread out. So there was no single.
Well, let's reduce this down to the ridiculous. When it's spread out and you don't know what to focus on, what is the first thing your brain does?
Chaos. Just
What's the first thought it produces?
where do I go?
Don't know. I'm in mystery. I don't know what to do. And whenever you're there, how can you possibly start to improve? How can you get traction? It's like if you're a car and you're stuck in the mud. A lot of people, their life is like a car stuck in the mud. They're revving up that engine, but they ain't going anywhere. What does it take for that car to take hold, to grab some grass, grab something? It takes something stable underneath it.
Tow hitch.
A tow hitch or maybe a board. Okay, well, a big problem I've always had is in my mind is extremely chaotic. And I say, now do this, and now do that. But since I never am doing this or I never am doing that, I'm very unaware of how long it takes to do that. In my mind, it should go a lot faster. Does that make sense? But in reality, like me and Bert are the same way. Bert will complain about how, man, my people just can't keep up with me. It's easy to bark out and say, do this and do that. But once you've got to do that, it takes a lot longer. And I made this mistake. The biggest problem was we were never catching traction and we weren't improving until I've started to look for this key word. Do you know what the key word is? Do you know what it is, Josh?
Just start with that.
It starts with an S.
Stability.
Nope, but that's close. That's a good guess. Hey, that's a good guess. Looking for specialists. Companies grow with people. Companies grow the best with specialized people. So think about what are the specific specialties in our company. Like, what do I want agents doing?
Closing deals.
I want them closing deals. I want them meeting people. I want them to grow their brand. I want them to grow their sphere. What do I want you to do? Tracking leads. So see, I'm not on you as much about the phone calls. Have you noticed that?
Right. You're going back to, like you said, the small details, the nonsense.
We're going back to this ridiculous thing to get traction. What's your one thing? Gary Keller wrote this book. It's called The One Thing. Like if there's one thing that you could do and doing this one thing produces you the most amount of money, what is it, Josh?
Selling houses.
Selling houses. How do you, instead of saying selling houses, how do you move backwards to where that begins? How do you begin selling houses?
More people. Shake more hands.
There you go. It's very simple. But what happens whenever you guys start doing too many things? I remember this time you were asking me, both of you, about how should we do these leads. And I'm like, you know what? It's starting to make sense to me. You already just focus on your hot leads, and you'll find ways to reproduce more hot leads. How has that worked?
Pretty good.
Does it work better? Is it better or just focusing on everything?
No, it's worked better. We've been able to emphasize more on the hot leads than the others because before that, we were spending time. We were taking time away from the hot leads by being with the warming.
Hot leads need a lot of attention. Need a whole lot of attention because they're interested, and they're also everybody's got a little do-it-yourself in them. And what I mean by that, a do-it-yourselfer in a home search today is Zillow. What happens if you got a hot and you're distracted because you're not doing your one thing, and this person gets onto Zillow and they fall in love with the way a house looks?
They're gonna call somebody.
Well, they get on there if they're not if we haven't extended my agent with them, they get on there and they hit a button. Next thing you know, they're talking to who?
Able.
That's right. Then they meet them out there, and as they're moving towards that house, they're falling in love with it. They're probably not going to tell that guy, "Well, I've got an agent." I mean, we would like to think that, but unless you've just like had your friends will do it, like your SOIs will do that, but a lot of the transactional internet business won't do that.
These leads ain't loyal.
They ain't, just like the old court case where it's a guy and he's getting married and the girl's holding the other guy, the best man's hand. You ever seen that behind his back?
The man.
Yeah. So if you're running a company and you or other people have multiple responsibilities, and at the end of the year you're not moving like you want to, I would suggest looking at this. How can you find more specialists? You don't need an operational person that's loaded up full time also being a marketing person. You don't need an agent that's also helping be a closing coordinator in real estate. You don't need your CFO being like Van's got a what?
Like being a lead tracker.
Well, the reason why is he knows the most about that stuff here. But I mean, that you're exactly right. It's really unfair to Van, who knows the most about those systems, and Van can kind of figure it out easy, whereas I can't. It's not fair to Van that I'm getting him to multitask from his specialty over into something that's not his job. What happens, Van, if you're trying to get all this stuff done on the financials for you and Stevie Z, and then I've got Ed in here asking you a Zillow question?
Well, I mean, you tend to take a little bit of focus off your one thing, and then you start to make mistakes or get less accurate.
And it takes longer.
Sorry, man.
That slows you down.
Yeah, so if you could just if you could like perfect this one thing right now, Edward, what would it be?
Just taking the initiative myself, figuring it out myself.
Yeah, but if you could perfect one thing in your job right now, what would the one thing be?
I would say just better communication.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking.
Awareness of every lead.
See, we're still not stable there.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I feel like I've gotten to.
Do you think you're there already? It's like a fat person saying I'm skinny in 3 days. I mean, it doesn't work like that. Van Grafton, shut us down.